welcome back, folks. This is U.S. Home Talk, and we are live on Wednesdays at noon. Nearly every Wednesday of every week, nearly. I have to say nearly because last week we did not have a show for a number of relatively good reasons, but here we are back this Wednesday. Evan knows better. Evan knows better. Folks, Jason Walgrave here with Walgrave Real Estate Group and the Minnesota Real Estate Team at RE/MAX Advantage Plus. We've got the great Marcus Walgrave with Hague Realtors out of the Sioux Empire, Sioux Falls Real Estate, Sioux Falls, South Dakota Real Estate Market. Mike Overson, also known as Mortgage Mike Overson. Folks, you'll notice today, and then of course none of this would happen without our great producer Evan Little, the man behind the curtain, and also our insurance guru with Paragon. So you'll notice, folks, that today Marcus and I, we're sporting some, pretty good beards. Marcus is looking better than mine. Give me another week or two or something. Overson, on the other hand, is just clean. You look good. You just clean shaven. Overson. You look like you're 32 again.
That's right, baby.
And he's not 32.
Well, yeah, but he also looks it. So he looks his age.
That's not gray hair. That's blonde. That's bleach blonde hair is what that is. Not gray.
Blonde hair.
Yeah, that's right. I try to pull it up. Yeah,
you're looking good, Overson. Overson, the Mike Overson mortgage team, put on a cool event today, offering free headshots for agents, and it was giving away some free Jimmy Johns over there. So
yeah,
good job. Thanks,
Marcus. You coming up? You going to drive up here, get a free headshot?
I have to head out to Rapid City tomorrow, so I'm going to save the tires a trip for the head shop today. So.
Damn.
But thank you for the offer, Mike. I appreciate that.
You got a long trip then. Rapid City is how far from Sioux Falls?
5
hours.
5 hours?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. But that's driving what, 90?
Well, I mean, you can usually go in the mid-80s and feel pretty safe.
So just for our listeners who don't know, so South Dakota on the interstates out there, the speed limit's 80, right? Montana, yes. Is Montana the same way too? I think. Aren't they 80 out there as well?
I don't know if anybody's higher than 80, but it seems like once you get into South Dakota and westbound into those Rocky Mountain states, you can
book pretty good, down. Yeah. So 80, 85, heck yeah, you do that all the way across the state, baby.
Yeah, I mean, 80's legal. 85, you're probably not going to get it. Maybe 90, 95, but people fly past me all the time when I'm on I-90 going westbound. Sioux Falls is on the far east side of the state. South Dakota is a pretty wide state, so it takes a little bit to get from the east border to the west border, and people don't they throw down on that interstate when they're in South Dakota.
It's pretty weird seeing that sign that says speed limit 80. So it's pretty cool.
There's a couple highways that have 70 miles per hour in South Dakota. So that always kind of caught me off guard. Where when driving up around some of the glacier lakes in northeast South Dakota, and you'll get on a highway and it says 70, and you're like, yeah, okay, yeah. I'm on a highway, I get to go 70, no big deal.
Heck yeah. So my brother-in-law drives semi-truck. This totally random thought here, right? He drives semi-truck, but the company he works for governs his trucks at 60 miles an hour. So he drives from Minneapolis to Rapid City every single week. It's a 3-day trip for him, and the fastest he can go the entire time is 60 miles an hour.
Really?
Yeah. For gas mileage? Because it's like the gas mileage in those big semis, it's like it makes a huge difference gas mileage wise. And obviously fuel is a huge cost for any sort of trucking company. So they govern them at 60 to get the gas mileage. And it obviously takes longer and stuff like that. But it's cheaper for them to actually add another day to the trip because they drive slower versus letting them go 80, right? And burning up the fuel. So,
man, there's got to be a big difference in between 60 and 80. So, but I'm sure they calculated it and
yeah,
that makes
sense.
Crazy. So when those semi trucks are going so slow, that might be one of the reasons they got a governor in there.
Yep, probably. The man's watching them. They can't go over 60.
I'd prefer the one that's going 60 than the one that's going like 90. It's like, whoo.
Yeah.
That's always
True.
a little alarming when you get passed by, a 18-wheeler on,
Especially
when you're already
in the
going
winter.
80. Yeah,
The
yeah.
roads are a little slick. You're like, whoa, here we go. All right, folks, what are we talking about today? We're usually talking about buying, selling, investing, financing, refinancing. And I think, sometimes we forget to talk about other things. Maybe you're not thinking about buying or selling. Maybe you've got remodel questions or things like that. So today we're not talking about anything to do with buying or selling, but more getting your home ready for fall. And although we got a nice little heat wave coming in,
Right.
we're going to be mid 80s this weekend, which is pretty cool. So get an opportunity to spend a little more time in the water here before it starts to get cold. But fall is right around the corner. And so getting your home ready for fall, especially in the Midwest, we got to do some additional things. We got to take some additional steps. There's when you've got big weather changes, and sometimes here it's 50-degree difference in 24 hours. I mean, it's it's a roller coaster of weather changes in the Midwest. So that's what we talk about today: getting ready your home for fall, folks. Keep in mind, best way to get a hold of us anytime is our website, ushometalk.com. You can connect directly with Marcus, Mike, myself, Evan, all of our fantastic show partners. We've got some wonderful tools on there. You can search for homes. We're directly connected to the MLS, so you can do some home searches. If you got questions about really anything to do with real estate, all things real estate, go to ushometalk.com. If you don't find a partner that fits the need that you have, just shoot us a question. Hey, I'm looking for this service, or I have this question. If we don't have that partner, we'll go out and interview companies. We'll bring them on a part of US Home Talk and make sure that we have all the resources to serve your needs, all things real estate and home. So be sure to check out our website, ushometalk.com. During the show, you can ask questions in the comment section on Facebook and YouTube. We also have a real estate hotline number set up that is a 24-hour real estate hotline number. During the show, you can text your questions to that number. It is 612-234-7585. Go ahead and text your questions or comments to that number during the show, and then you can call or text that number anytime. Again, it's our 24-hour real estate hotline number. Connect with any one of us or all of our fantastic US Home Talk partners. And again, the website, which is pretty spectacular, ushometalk.com. You can find all of our past shows on there as well. And it's a really wonderful resource for all things real estate. All right,
Jason.
Yes, sir.
Jason, real quick, did we get the our new calendar that we made up on the website yet? The Men of US Home Talk.
We haven't. It's still in production.
It is okay. Gotcha. Okay.
It's in the editing phase of production.
Photoshopping.
A lot of photoshopping, editing. We're going to use some AI technology. We're going to look good when it's done.
Heck yeah.
I mean, we are going to look good. So that's not quite up yet. Thank you for the reminder, Mike.
Yes, you're welcome.
All right, what do we got to do? Fall's coming. How do we get your home ready for fall? Number one on our list, got to clean the gutters and downspouts. Make sure all drainage areas are unblocked by leaves and debris. Leaves kind of started falling a little bit, but not a ton. If you've got gutters, folks, it's so important to have them cleaned. Whether you're doing it yourself or you hire somebody to do it, there's some cool tools, extension things you hook up to your hose and it blows the leaves out, and some really cool stuff. But there's it happens all the time. We're showing houses, Marcus and I, during the year, and we come up to a house that maybe the exterior maintenance has been a bit neglected, and you look up those gutters, and there's plants growing out of the gutters.
Yep.
Mini trees.
Healthy plants. I mean, they're sometimes big, healthy plants growing out of the gutters.
Couple inches of soil up there.
Yes.
Getting plenty of water.
Plenty of water, which you know what? Leaves when they break down, they can make some great some mulch, and then they'll turn into soil, and you can grow some stuff. But obviously, that doesn't help you out at all. So get those cleaned out. Add the downspouts and the extensions more so. So I just looked at a home a couple days ago. Really nice $600,000 plus home, and it didn't have any extensions. So, I mean, it had a gutter system around the whole house. You've got the lines that, bring it down to the ground, and there was no extension. So it kind of defeats the whole point, right? I mean, if all you're doing is taking all the water from the roof and putting it straight down on the foundation, I mean, that literally defeats the entire purpose of having gutters. You go and get the rain away from the foundation. So add on those extensions. It'll help you out a lot.
Yeah, when you talk about those leaves, right, Jason? I mean, we're definitely not losing many. A lot of these tips are going to be things that you can do again before it freezes. Kind of that winter prep. Some of these trees, I mean, they hang on to the leaves until spring, like a lot of the oak trees do. So I've been seeing some leaves, but yeah, I mean, a lot of the extensions. I think those are really key because it gets pretty rainy in the fall up here.
It does.
We do get, so I mean, a great opportunity to kind of get that water away from your foundation, dry up that soil before it freezes, and get ready for the winter.
And especially if you have clay soil, I'm not a huge fan of gutters in general, with the exception of a few areas around your house. As long as you have drain tile, you got your sump basket, and you've got sandy soil. If you have if the soil is clay, even more reason to make sure those gutter extensions are on, because clay doesn't absorb the water very well. And so it's going to sit on that foundation. It's going to pool, and gutters and extensions can help that out. This time of year, right, it's getting cooler, less humidity, which is really a perfect time to do exterior painting. And so, I think sometimes we think, oh, yep, got to paint in the summer. Summer's a great time to paint. It's actually not a great time to paint at times. If the humidity levels are really, really high, it's not good conditions to paint. I mean, I just saw this recently where an interior home was painted. So the whole main floor was painted. They re-scraped the ceiling and they painted it. Well, paint fumes are strong. And so the company that was doing it, they had all the windows open in the house, and it was in July, first part of August, when it was very humid, and it didn't. They had to come back and redo the whole ceiling because it was peeling, because there was too much humidity for that paint to dry correctly. And so now is a great time for exterior painting. You want to get it done before it gets too cold. I can't remember. I feel like it's like 50 degrees is kind of you don't want it to be much colder than that. But now it can be a great time to get that exterior house painted. And maybe it's just the front door or the garage doors or the trim or just parts of that exterior. Now's a great time for exterior painting.
Another thing going along with that too a little bit, and one of our landscaping partners on the show brought this up, and he told me this years ago, but he's like, seeding or sodding for grass in late September and October in Minnesota is a great time to do it. Yes. A lot of people shy away from that because it's like the fall and the winter's coming, the sunlight's not there and whatever. He's like, it's great because it doesn't just sit there and bake in that summer sun.
Yep.
Right. So there's less water involved. It has a chance to take off and grow without getting just baked there. So if you have, any sort of seeding or sod or stuff going on, this time of year is actually a great time to do it.
Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, I mean, I've seen them. I saw some builders and landscapers. They were sodding last year. I felt like almost into December. I mean, it was late November, and it was before there was any snow down, and they were like, we're going to get it down. It's going to go dormant pretty quick anyway. But the beautiful part is then spring comes, and you got all that extra moisture in the spring from melting snow and whatever, and it's gonna take off, and those lawns look pretty spectacular by middle of next spring.
Yeah, I think, Mike, like you said, I mean, that sun can just kill new grass so quickly, just burn it out in 24 hours. You get a hot windy day and where it's 100 degrees, and you could have a nice patch of grass growing, and then come the next day and it's, all that little grass is dead. So I got an email from my sprinkler guy, and he was kind of saying, hey, we're going to winterize soon. And our landscaping company, they were talking about, hey, let's do some aeration and overseeding. So, I mean, I'm getting the messages from the lawn guys like, hey, this is the time to do it. So,
Yep, it's good advice. Folks, we're talking about getting your home ready for fall. Now's the time to inspect your roof or hire a professional to go up there and take a look at it, especially if you have any, and Mike Overson is smiling because neither one of us or any three of us are, I don't even know about Evan. I don't think he's going up there either. We're not climbing up on the roof. So no. It would have somebody come take a look at it. But especially if you think you might have had some hail or storm damage over the summer, or if it looks like something's going on, maybe some curling shingles or some discoloration, now is the time to have that checked. The last thing you want to do is have roof issues in the middle of winter. So make sure you inspect that roof if you've got any concerns or you think something might be going on. It's a lot easier to repair that now than it is in January or February.
I don't remember what it is, Jason, but there's something to do with that shingling as well, that they kind of prefer it to be above 35. There's a certain step to reshingling that is just really, you need to have it 35 or 45 or something like that. So I mean, there's still plenty of time to do it, but I mean, sometimes these winters come in quick on us, and we're kind of stuck in the 50s for highs, and then high 30s for lows. Days are getting shorter, so September's a great month for that type of stuff for the roof.
Folks, we're talking about getting your home ready for fall. Be sure to check out our website, ushometalk.com. Best way to connect with us anytime, and we've got our real estate hotline number, 24-hour real estate hotline number. You can call that anytime during the show. You can text in questions. The number is 612-234-7585. That is the real estate hotline number. What do we have? Let's go back to our list here. Check the flashing around skylights, pipes, and chimneys. If you have any leaks or gaps, heavy snow and or ice may find its way in. Yeah, I mean, anything to do with checking the chimney or skylights. Skylights are notorious for leaking, right? And it's a lot easier to make those repairs now than when you got a foot of snow on the roof. So be sure to check those right now as well.
Even more reason to hire a professional to do that roof check.
Get it all done in one shot,
right? They're gonna know like what is acceptable, or what hey, this is a little bit off, but it's still fine. Or they're just gonna, while they're up there, gonna hit it with some caulk and be good with it. And I mean, I could go up there and I might know what I'm looking at, but most likely not, and miss some of the obvious ones.
Yep, now's the time to get those guys up there. Folks, talking about getting your home ready for fall. To prevent exterior water pipes from bursting. And that happens if it gets really cold. Sometimes we got really cold winters up here. Turn off the valves to the exterior hold bib. It's probably not, we're not quite ready for that, because I think there's certainly folks still watering their exterior plants and in their lawns and stuff yet. But you're going to want to get that turned off. Some of the exterior faucets or valves, they've got some backflow, prevention things in them, but some of them don't. And so if you don't turn those off and drain them, you could have some freezing pipes that you might not even learn about until it's too late. You got some water damage in the basement or something happens in the spring. So make sure you're checking those exterior water pipes. If you have an irrigation system, I always tell my irrigation guys, just put me last on the list. I want you to come like last. So because I probably, and we've talked about this before, I probably water my yard too much. Although less this year than probably ever before. We've gotten a lot of rain, so I've had it turned off for quite a while now. So, but those need to be winterized as well. If you don't, they're going to freeze and you're going to have broken pipes, and that's a whole thing to have to deal with. If you've got wood burning fireplaces, and we don't see a whole lot of those anymore. I mean, most of the fireplaces, that we see are gas burning. But if you've got wood burning ones, it's time to have them cleaned, repaired if necessary, and have them inspected. So there's, most of the wood burning fireplaces that we see are in older homes, and so those are older fireplaces. Even more reason to get them inspected. They don't build wood burning fireplaces very often anymore. One of the reasons, the cost to do so, the new codes for wood burning fireplaces, they're just ridiculously expensive. They got to run footings all the way down to the basement or where the footings are if it's a slab on grade. But it's you don't see them often, but there's additional maintenance required for wood burning fireplaces to make sure you have those inspected and cleaned out.
And I'm sure on the insurance side of things, Evan can probably comment. A wood burning fireplace in a house these days, it has to be an insurance, right? No.
It's doable with some carriers, but it is not something that will make anyone in the insurance business happy to do business with you.
Well, so what do they do then? Well, do they just charge you more, or
they tell you to get rid of it? Most
do they really?
Jeepers, yeah, interesting. Yeah.
I'm guessing they're going to be
that's common. Old wood burning fireplaces getting retrofitted for a gas insert. I mean, that isn't like a.
To be clear, fireplaces normally fine. Wood burning stoves, big no. If it's permanently installed into code, masonry, all that stuff, the issue is that wood burning stoves in most insurance companies' experience is they're never installed to code. They're always installed wrong. So they just don't want to do it.
So interesting is on the insurance side, brought a thought to mind. So we've got, of course, have our insurance through Paragon, and Paragon's an insurance broker, so they have the ability to go out and find the best, options and prices. And so the new company that we have now, one of the things that we had to do is we had to change out the hose between the water connection and the toilets, and all the toilets in our house, because whatever material, and our home isn't that old, it was built 11 years ago, but whatever material that they'd used, I guess it had a history of problems or leaking or whatever. And so we had to have a plumber come in and change it out to this new, I can't remember the material, but the new material that they wanted. And so now they're up to insurance company requirements, and we're good to go.
Stainless steel line? Is that what they put in?
Could have been. It was, well, whatever was there wasn't good. So
you want your toilets to be working
and not leaking, right?
Well, I'm sure it's the same thing as the washing machine, right? The washing machine and stuff too. Yeah. I would imagine, Evan, is stainless steel hose still like the gold standard as far as hose go?
As far as I know, yeah, but I'm not an expert on that. I'm not a plumber. All these insurance companies, when they have someone come out and do an inspection on the home, each company will have its own underwriting guidelines of what they're actually looking for and things that they want their person to check. So even though they might be contracting to the same companies, the actual requests that you'll get from the insurer will be different depending on what carrier you're being placed with.
Mm-hmm. Yep, good stuff.
Okay.
We're talking about getting your home ready for fall. Next on our list, going back to the water pipes, wrap water pipes that run along exterior walls with heating tape. This will save energy and prevent them from freezing. I mean, it's, that's a great piece of advice. I think that this also can be used during the summer as well. I mean, we've had clients that have had water spots on the ceiling, and I just had one a few weeks ago. I'm like, hey, I think you think there's water leaking up there or something, and had a plumber over and take a look at it. It wasn't leaking, but that pipe was close enough to the exterior wall where it was condensating, and so it was from the cold water that was running through it. So not only for preventing in winter, but it also can potentially prevent some water condensation, which will end up in water spots on the ceiling or the walls or whatever. So get those water pipes wrapped, and it'll save you some energy and prevent them from freezing.
Get it?
Not much to comment on that one. Clean and clean and replace filters in your furnace or heating system. We talk about this often too. We replace a filter about every 30 days. We get the ones that are not 90-day or 120-day filters, but just the regular ones. We change them often. Everything runs better. Now is a really good time of the year, folks, to have your furnace inspected. If you spend a little bit of time and money on maintenance items for your furnace and AC and those big dollar items, they're going to last a lot longer. And it's a terrible inconvenience if the furnace goes out in the middle of January when it's 0 degrees out, right? And so have those checked now, get everything prepped and ready. That way when the temperature does change, you'll be ready to go.
Quick comment there too. Everything's got a filter these days. Furnace has a filter.
Yes.
Your home humidifier has a filter. Your air exchanger has a filter. Most of those, I think, you can just pull them out and you can just wash them and put them back in, so you don't have to buy a new filter for that.
Fridge has a filter. Microwave
everything's got a filter. So just know it. If it's a utility system in your house, it probably has a filter. So just go through it and knock it out.
You know what doesn't have a filter sometimes?
Marcus.
Overson's thoughts.
My
Sometimes.
children.
Yeah,
Sometimes.
my children. Yes.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
Talking about getting your
my
own
little one the other day. She was like, "Why do you have white hair on your face?" And I was like, this is one of those deals, kid. I'm glad you pointed that out for me, though.
Just go ask mom. That's what I say.
This one is yours.
Go ask mom.
This one's your
Go ask mom.
sister's. And this is your other sister.
all these here on this side, those are from your mom. All right, getting your home ready for fall. Next on our list, if you have a hot water system for heating, drain the expansion tank, check water pressure, and bleed your radiator. So this is, if you don't have a furnace but you got a hot water heating system, again, get it done now. Have it checked out. Have it inspected. Maybe do a little tune-up on it. You're going to be a lot happier. It's going to last longer. It's going to work better. It's going to be more efficient. And now is the time to do that. Folks, be sure to check out our website, ushometalk.com. Best way to get a hold of us anytime, 24 hours a day. We've got our 24-hour real estate hotline number, which is 612-234-7585. We have one left on the list, but we're going to do the legal minute. Hold on. Got to go over to the private chat, which I didn't have open. Looks like I have 10 messages between Marcus and... Okay, clearly, we should be doing the legal minute.
This is Jeff O'Brien, attorney with Hush Blackwell, with the U.S. Home Talk Legal Minute. When a tenant fails to make payments under a lease, whether the property is residential or commercial, Minnesota law does not permit the landlord to simply walk in and take the property back. This is because the lease gives the tenant the legal right of possession of the property. In order to terminate this right, the landlord must bring an action for an eviction, also called an unlawful detainer action. Unlawful detainer cases begin with the service of a summons and complaint, like most lawsuits. An initial hearing is then scheduled before a judge or referee. At this hearing, the tenant can raise justification for the non-payment of rent and force a trial on those issues. However, in order to show the tenant's good faith in making such claims, the tenant must escrow the disputed rent with the court. Once the trial takes place, the court decides the case, and if the court decides in favor of the landlord will receive the escrowed rent. This is Jeff O'Brien, attorney with Hush Blackwell, with the U.S. Home Talk Legal Minute.
All right. Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate it. Folks, again, best way to get hold of us is our website, ushometalk.com, or live every Wednesday at noon Central Time on Facebook. Getting your home ready for fall, last one on the list. And this one's pretty important. Check the attic and specifically the insulation that's in the attic. I think the older your home is, the closer you're going to have to take a look at this. When you're talking about winter months that come and we've got snow and we've got sleet and we've got freezing rain, ice dams can happen. Ice dams can cause a whole bunch of damage to the interior and exterior of your home. Most of the time, those can be prevented. Ice dams can be prevented by having the right amount of insulation in your attic. We see it less of an issue with newer homes because the roof trusses are built differently. There's actually more space for insulation. But some of those older homes, there's not. And insulation, it settles over time. So get up there, check the attic, make sure that insulation you have enough, and then you'll prevent some of those issues. So
if you're going to do that yourself, because you can, you can rent some of the equipment from the big box stores. Just make sure that you're not covering the soffit exhaust vents. I think that's one thing that kind of gets missed with maybe a new homeowner, or maybe you've just bought one here in the recent years, and you say, hey, I can go up there and I can fill that bad boy up to 25 inches. And then you kind of get a little excited, and you're filling everything up, but that vent or that attic has to breathe, and those soffit exhaust vents are very important to keep open.
That's a great point, Marcus. One other thing that comes to mind is we see this pretty often throughout the year. We'll have a home that a buyer wants to purchase. We're doing the inspection, and the vent in the bathroom goes up and it goes in the attic, and maybe it became disconnected from. It's supposed to exit the attic and outside, right? And so if you're up there, look at those bathroom fans. Make sure that those are being vented to the exterior of the home, and not just blowing up into the attic, because it's not good when that happens. You can fix it, but it's not good. So something else to keep an eye out if you're going to be up in that attic anyway.
And you don't want your fart dust just collecting in your attic year after year.
You know what I mean? Exit the house. Get
it outside.
Get it outside.
Get it out there.
No, we're not trying to say that.
All right, folks, we do appreciate you tuning in today. Like always, we appreciate your support. We'll be back next week, same time, noon Central Standard Time, via Facebook and YouTube. You've been watching USHometalk.com, and hope you guys all have a great week.